What's going on, everybody? And I hope you're enjoying your Saturday afternoon/evening so far. This is NYG Jeffy T85 here, and I'm going to talk about another potential free agent cornerback that the New York Giants could potentially have interest in, and be another veteran cornerback that might not cost a lot and could help out this New York Giants secondary if, in fact, they decide to go for a veteran out there in the free agent market this offseason. And that, of course, is Cameron Sutton. Cameron Sutton is a former third-round pick number 94, all the way back in 2017 out of the University of Tennessee, who was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he spent the last 5 years with the Steelers. Sutton is a 5'11", 188-pound corner who has been pretty much playing with the Pittsburgh Steelers the past few years, and he's been primarily a starting role for the Steelers for the most part. Over the course of his career, where he's playing 84 total games, 39 total starts, he really didn't get a lot of starts until about 2021, 2022. Those are the last 2 years he's really been known as a starting quarterback. But in his overall total, he's playing 84 games total with about 39 games started. He's accumulated about 168 tackles total, with 135 of them being solo and 25 of them assisted. He has 2 sacks in his career, with 38 passes defended, along with 8 interceptions that is returned overall for a total of 56 yards, averaging about 7 yards on each interception. And he's accumulated at least 4 forced fumbles, and he's recovered 1 fumble recovery in the span of his career. But like I said, the former third-round pick out of Tennessee in 2017 was mostly known as a special teams player for the most part, or a reserve player in the secondary for the first 4 years of his career. From 2017 till pretty much about 2019 is when he was primarily being used as a backup guy. Didn't start any games for the most part. Did start 1 game in 2017 and 1 game in 2018, but really didn't do a lot of his damage until he got to about the middle to late part of 2020 is when he really started to show the Pittsburgh Steelers something that this guy deserves to potentially be a starter for the secondary going forward. In 2020, he had 6 games started in 16 total games where he had 27 tackles, 30 of them being combined, 3 assisted, with 1 sack where he had 1 interception overall for 8 passes defended. And he was a free agent that offseason. But the Pittsburgh Steelers liked what they saw in Sutton, so they decided to reward him in the 2021 offseason with a 2-year, $9 million deal to remain with the Steelers and be named one of their starting cornerbacks. Where in 2021, in his first year of that 2-year deal for $9 million, he started in 16 games with about 52 combined tackles, 44 being solo, 8 assisted. He had about 6 passes defended with 2 interceptions and 4 yards, giving up an average of about 2 yards, 4 being his longest, and he had 1 forced fumble. He was actually very good in his first year. He had a pretty good season for a starting cornerback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then this past season, he played in 16 games, started 15 of them. He sat out at least 1 game with an injury. He had 43 combined tackles, 35 of them being solo, 8 of them assisted. He had 15 passes defended, not bad. Could be better, but not bad. 3 interceptions for 26 yards with an 8.7 yards per return, 26 being his longest, and he didn't have any forced fumbles on the season. When you look at his measurables, he's not exactly a bigger cornerback. He's only 5'11", 188 pounds. Not your prototypical physical outside cornerback. Still only 27 years old, though. He just turned 27 years old, so he's just getting into the prime of his career the next couple of years. If the Giants want to go the veteran route, would it be out of the question to maybe sign a guy like Cameron Sutton to a 2-year, give or take $4.5 million deal? 4.5? If there's money available, bring this guy in, potentially a chance for him to start on the outside. A lot of it has to do with what the Giants think, A, of the cornerback market going into the draft, which at least I'm hearing is absolutely saturated. A ton of depth in that cornerback market, which could hurt somebody like a Cameron Sutton in the free agent market. And at the same time, would the New York Giants still believe that Aaron Robinson, who's coming off back-to-back injured seasons but has a lot of potential to be a future starting piece for the New York Giants going into 2023, still be the answer? That's another question right now. What do the Giants think about Aaron Robinson as a starting cornerback? Because you can argue that the Giants still have a lot of faith that this kid could be one of the answers at the cornerback position for the Giants going forward. But you can never have enough cornerbacks. As we all know in the NFL, there's a few positions you can never have enough of. Offensive linemen, defensive linemen, and especially in this league, and this nowadays in the NFL, you can never have enough quality depth at cornerback. And like I mentioned, this upcoming draft is littered with a whole bunch of cornerbacks coming out this year. There's a lot of cornerback depth coming out in this upcoming draft. I mean, you could really name them. I mean, Kelly Ringo, Emmanuel Forbes, Garrett Williams, Deontay Banks, Travius Hodgins, Joey Porter Jr., Christian Gonzalez, Devin Winterspoon. That's just like that. That's just some of them that are going to be coming out this year in the draft. But if the Giants want to go the veteran route, bring in a guy who's been in the league for 5 years, solid player, can play on the outside. Giants have not been shy about going over to the Pittsburgh organization to sign free agents before too. Remember Ross Cockrell, who was actually a decent cornerback with the team when they signed him, all the way back in 2018? Would the Giants decide to go back to that well? I mean, he's not going to be a difference maker or anything. He's not going to go out there and just wow you on the football field. But what Cameron Sutton is a veteran cornerback that can help out the depth of your room. And if you draft one or two other cornerbacks, you have a veteran like Sutton as well as Adoree Jackson that can help coach up some of these younger guys that are coming in. Plus, you look at the cornerback room right now for the New York Giants. You have Adoree Jackson who's starting at one position. And then you have a whole lot of flux. Because Cordero Flott, undersized cornerback going into his second year in the NFL out of LSU. You have Aaron Robinson going in his third year out of UCF. Both those guys are unproven. Darnay Holmes is going into the last year of his rookie deal. And he really has been going backwards going into his fourth year out of UCLA. And then you have Rodarius Williams in his third year. I mean, you have, out of Oklahoma State, you have Zion Gilbert, undrafted free agent that they signed this past offseason. I mean, you have a lot of guys right now that besides Adoree Jackson, you have a lot of unproven players, and it does not hurt to bring in another veteran. And then it also depends on if they're going to re-sign Fabian Moreau, whom they picked up during the early parts of the 2022 season when Aaron Robinson got injured with that knee injury, which it looks like it's an ACL. So, Sutton has been a solid cornerback in the NFL in his 5 years with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Would he be a guy that you guys would take a chance on? Let me know in the comments section if you would sign a guy like Cameron Sutton in free agency. Decent numbers. Past couple of years, he's been a starting cornerback with the Pittsburgh Steelers under head coach Mike Tomlin. And I think he'd be a nice fit with the New York Giants in that secondary as another veteran cornerback on the outside, especially if you can't bring back Fabian Moreau. You guys let me know in the comment section what you think about the Giants potentially signing Cameron Sutton, former free agent cornerback from the Pittsburgh Steelers in the offseason. Hit that like button if you haven't already. It helps out the channel. And give a sub to NYGJeffyT85. And turn on the bell for the notifications of the next video or short dropping on the channel surrounding the New York Giants. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Take it easy, and let's go New York Football Giants. Together Blue, everyone.